Russells Reserve is my favorite line in bourbon, and this here is a Camp Nelson F single barrel pick, and this here is the Camp Nelson F single Rickhouse. $75, $300. Can we taste the difference? Well, today we're blinding them. Welcome back to another episode of Neat Bourbon. My name's Tanner, and today has been a long-awaited day because I am finally trying my first Russells Reserve single Rickhouse. This is a Camp Nelson F. I'm a massive Russells fanboy. I think the regular single barrels are the best values you can get on the shelf, and their single barrel store picks are even better, and they offer a wider range of flavor profiles, so you just can never get bored of these. And for 75 bucks, you gotta enjoy them while they're still this cheap, because who knows, with Campari jacking up all the prices of turkey, maybe these will be in the low hundreds soon. So today we're blinding the Camp Nelson F, the single Rickhouse. It's non-age stated, but rumored to be 10 to 15 years old, coming in at 117.2 proof. This here is a single barrel pick. This is from the Virginia ABC. This is a Camp Nelson F, 9 years age dated, coming from floor 4. All Russells single barrels are 110 proof. So we got 7 proof points difference. Non-age stated, age stated, same Rickhouse, $75. This is $300. Is there that big of a difference? Should you be hunting these Camp Nelson F picks, or should you be looking for these single barrel offerings? Because for 75 bucks, you can't really go wrong with them. So anyways, never had the Camp Nelson F, so we're going to go ahead and get into the nose here and see. So by the way, the Russells mash bill is 75% corn, 13% rye, 12% malted barley. Same goes for the single barrel, the Camp Nelson F, and the Russells H. We're going to get into the nose here on glass 1. Yeah, so this is like a spicy, peppery, brown sugar caramels. Almost like some hint of berry there on the nose. But man, well, the confectionery sugar sweetness is really starting to come out. Maybe like some vanilla. Overall, this is just like a great Russells nose. Very spicy, sweet, like a little bit of fruit there on the nose. Anyways, go ahead and go up to the palate. Cheers. Yo. Man, that is velvety. It's very like candy sweetness there. It's got that like more of like a brighter berry there. It's got, man, that like vanilla sweetness stays. It's very like peppery, spicy, going all the way through. Let's go in for one more. It's got like the faintest hint of like that funk there. It's like the faintest hint of like a nut funk there. It's very, very faint there, moving over towards the finish. But man, the finish is still going. It's got a great Kentucky hug. It's very sweet, like very confectionery sugar, vanilla, sweet all the way through, with a bunch of like black pepper spice influence there. This is fantastic. It's got the cherry. That's going to be tough. Anyways, let's go over to glass 2. Okay. So the glass 1 smells a little bit sharper there on the nose, where glass 2 is a little bit more well-rounded. What I mean by that is like those brown sugar caramels are a little bit, they feel a little bit more like pungent, but also they're not as like sharp. So like the alcohol isn't quite showing itself as much. Not saying that this one had any ethanol on it at all, but like, sometimes notes can come across a little bit sharper there on the nose, but this one's still having like that berry sweetness. You can tell these are like you can tell these are brothers basically. They're both Russells products, so it's, great that they share those similarities. Anyways, off to the palate. Cheers. That is really good too. It's a little bit more punchy there on the palate, like that Luxardo, or more like that cherry note is a lot more prevalent. The oak is a little bit more dominant there on the finish. It's like a peppery, dark, seasoned oak there on the finish. Man, but that is sweet all the way through. Very similar to glass 1, But, you know, just off of like first impression, I mean, like the notes are like right in line with each other. I think glass 2 might taste like a scotch bit older because I think the oak is a little bit more pronounced there on the finish with like those dark chocolates. But it is such a dense, like sugary pop, like right up front, and then it goes over into like those brown sugars and cherries there on the mid palate. This is pretty spicy as well. Overall, that's fantastic. Now, I'm gonna take a sip of water. So we're gonna head back to glass 1 here. Oh yeah. I mean, glass 1 is fantastic too. It's just a lot sweeter. Like the spicy notes aren't like quite as strong as I remember them after coming off of glass 2. It's a lot more of like that sweetness there now. It's like one of like those fruit cups, like the syrup in there, where it's kind of like a mesh of different fruits. Like that's more like the sweetness and like fruit profile that's coming across there. It's not quite as spicy, and the oak isn't nearly as strong as I was getting off of glass 2. Anyways, we'll go back to glass 2 for one more. Yeah, the oak is that like, if I had to guess age, I'd say glass number 2 is definitely older. The oak hits you up front, and like that like oaky barrel influence stays with you all the way through. Where on glass 1, it leaned more towards, you know, kind of like that fruit cup syrup. And it was spicy on the initial sip, but, you know, after having glass 2, I think the spice is a lot more dominant. You're getting a lot more of like that funky oak you can kind of get. It's kind of like a musty funk. Oh no, an itch. So, by the way, if you were to just look at these are, you know, the same color. So visually, like, there's no, like, distinguishing them, like, between each other. So after going back to glass 2, after glass 1, I mean, glass 2 is definitely a standout here. I think, like, that fruity note has hit you right up front, combined with all that sweet oak. The middle is so spicy, but, like, that oak stays with you. And, like, that confectionery sugar note carries through with it oak. So you're getting, like, that sweet oak all the way through. It's not bitter at all. The oak stays with you. The finish goes, it's sweet, it's spicy. You get those brown sugars in the mid palate. You're picking up like a little bit of like funkiness there. You can get like a Rickhouse funk on, you know, some turkey products, and that's definitely showing itself there. So anyways, let's go ahead and see who these are. Let's go ahead and look at the winner. All right, it's the Camp Nelson F. So the single barrel store pick came in second, which, you know, I guess that's a good thing. I don't know. So the single barrel store pick came in second. The Camp Nelson F, the single Rickhouse, was a clear standout in this scenario. But now, again, is this worth $300? And for $75, I would probably take this all day long. Again, I don't own a Camp Nelson F right now, but after trying it, you bet your bottom dollar I'm going to be trying to trade for one, because this is fantastic. I don't know if I'd be looking to spend, you know, $300, $350 for one, because I think that's just, I don't know, I have a hard time spending that much money on a bottle of bourbon. But if I can trade for one, yeah, it's probably something that is going to be more up my alley. This Camp Nelson F pick, though, I thought was fantastic. The notes are a little bit sharper, you know, and surprisingly enough that they're sharper, and they're only 110 proof. This one being 117 proof, didn't drink its proof at all. They tasted very similar. If anything, this one might have tasted slightly hotter, but the notes on the single Rickhouse were so well-rounded. I am impressed by that CNF, the single Rickhouse. I'm stoked that I did this, and I am wildly happy to have this bottle here because, you know, it's my baby single Rickhouse, and this bottle is probably going to go pretty quick because it's absolutely fantastic. And I wish I could get more of them for $75, but, you know, that's life. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you have, would you please consider giving me a like? Would you please consider subscribing? And as always, my name's Tanner. This is Neat Bourbon. And pop the bottles and share the pours, and we'll see you in the next one.